I don't even know if it was necessarily that I knew that I wanted to be a chef. I knew that I loved cooking and baking, and I was at a place in my life where I was starting a new life over again. I had been in the spa industry for 17 years and did not want to pursue that career any further. And so when I was taking a really long, hard look at what I did want to do and what I love to do, cooking was one of them, and I thought, well, how can I make money at that? And that's when I decided to go to culinary school. I went to Valencia College and studied all three of their restaurant programs, the culinary, the baking and pastry, and the restaurant management program. And I did all of that in 3.5 years. At 40, I started over. And the thing that I like making the most, I would have to say, that gave me my love of pastry is pies. That was my grandmother's favorite thing to make. She always made pies, so I've had a love of making pies and rolling out the dough and the tender loving care that goes with it since a very young age, 9 or 10, since I was old enough to reach the counter at my grandmother's kitchen. So pies, really, I just have a love of them, and there's such a variety. You can do sweet pies and savory pies, so both of those things bring me just immense joy, and I've found my niche in pie making in the community. So I believe my favorite pie is probably my signature pie. It's salted caramel dark chocolate pecan. We make all the caramel from scratch. We use a very dark chocolate because that's really the chocolate that I believe should be the only chocolate around, is dark chocolate. And then the pecan pie just brings me back to my southern roots. It really reminds me of growing up, all that whole family and pecan pies. We had them pretty much every Sunday. And so this is kind of my twist on a modern take on a pecan pie. We've gone back to just natural ingredients. We use all butter, we use all real flour, heavy cream, lots of eggs, fresh eggs and milk. And I think there's a big loss of that in the community when the nostalgic twist of just really baking like how your grandmother baked, or the way your mother or your great-grandmother baked, because they have so many newfangled things that do things that traditional items used to do. All of the new ways that you can use nitrogen to freeze things instantly, and while that's a great novelty, I think sometimes it gets lost in just being able to go back to the basics and really just create something that truly tastes delicious, because you're using real whole milk and real fresh eggs and butter. Butter's not a bad word. My day as a baker starts every morning at 4:30 in the morning. I get up and I'm not a morning person actually, so it takes me a minute to get going, and I need my coffee. I maybe need 2 cups of coffee before probably people should talk to me. I get here to the bakery anywhere between 6 and 6:15 in the morning, and then we start the process of doing our fresh baked biscuits every morning and baking our scones and having everything just prepped and ready, and fresh grits that are made from scratch with lots of cream and butter. And that's how we get our day started. Then just depending on what's on our board for the day of what's selling, getting new pies made every morning, making more cake during the day. We've really got a timing down because we only have 2 ovens in our kitchen, so they are running all day long, and instead of having to adjust the temperatures, we try to bake all the things that bake at the same degrees all at the same time. So there's a lot of planning involved with it. We definitely have quite the schedule. Well, I wanted to be a true bakery where we have a variety of everything. So I want cookies and cupcakes and pies and cake, and then some novelty things. We also make candies during the holidays. So really what people will find when they come into the bake shop is a full bakery minus fresh breads, because that's another whole entity in and of itself. And then you get involved with yeast, and there's a lot of proofing, and that would probably make my day start even earlier than it does already. So we leave bread to the bread makers, and I make pastries. And then also involved with us doing more some of our cafe things with our sandwiches and our breakfasts with the biscuits and things like that. We really base it on, we do a lot of small batch everything. So we make a small, only 3-pound batch of chicken salad, which we'll sell through in a day, but it's fresh and it tastes delicious, and everyone gets the same exact product each day. So our board is based on what our sales are for the day and what's selling. Right now, some of our most popular items, we used to make maybe 3 in a week, now we're making 3 in a day. So it just depends on, really what the demand is, and then we fill it. And each week we do 3 new pies. So that's always interesting. We try to keep the variety up, but we always have like our signature pie and a fruit pie and a cream pie. So when someone comes here, they know they'll always find at least that kind of variety. Yeah, for breakfast, our most popular items is probably our Southern. It is our buttermilk garlic biscuit. It has an egg baked in a ham cup, like a sheared egg. We top it with a dollop of our scratch-made in-house pimento cheese. It has 2 pieces of applewood smoked center-cut bacon, and then we top it with our cheddar chive grits. That is probably the epitome of what our bake shop is about that true Southern nostalgic cooking. As far as our pastries, right now, it seems like I've had this affinity for making, for lack of better words, Little Debbie copycat items, and our Swiss cake rolls and our oatmeal cream pies are hard to keep on the shelf right now. But they are delicious, and I think that brings people back to their childhood. That's something that they grew up with, that Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie, and so this is a fresh twist on that, and it just has all those same elements, but even more delicious than you remember it when you were a kid. For our lunches, we've had to, well, especially in the summer, it's a little bit warmer outside, so we just do our chicken pot pies on Thursdays and Fridays now, but I can't seem to make enough of them. And our meatloaf sandwiches, also very nostalgic, something that you find in your, that your grandma made for you, so it's very popular. It's a very popular item, and it has our fresh baked meatloaf on it, a mashed potato schmear with some scratch-made mashed potatoes that we make. And then whenever you used to have meatloaf and your grandma would make it and never put enough glaze all over it, we put glaze all over the entire meatloaf. So it is really delicious and one of our most popular items.